The minute you walk down the shop, I could see you were a man of distinction, a real good writer, big vocab, so refined. Say, wouldn't you like to know what's back at home on my shelf? So let me get right to the point. I don't pop my cork for every book I read. David Levithan spent a little time with me. Hi.
Hello.
Hi. I'm very proud to welcome US author David Levithan to the shop today. David, welcome back to Melbourne.
Well, thank you.
I wondered whether you maybe just wanted to tell our viewers a little bit about Will Grayson and why I might be singing to you this morning.
I have no idea.
No,
I'm just confounded.
I
don't know. It's about the Holocaust. Will Grayson. Will Grayson is the story of two boys with the same name. You'll never guess what this name is. I'll just leave it to the viewers to decide. And their lives cross halfway through. They live in different suburbs of Chicago, and John's Will Grayson is just sort of doesn't know what the point of life is, and he's sort of liking this girl Jane, and he doesn't even know if she's straight or gay, and just lives basically in the shadow of his best friend Tiny Cooper. My Will Grayson is a very, very angry, very sometimes depressed guy also named Will Grayson, who sort of has a frenemy named Maura, and who really just doesn't like dealing with people. He has an internet boyfriend, Isaac, who he's very happy with. He's very comfortable being online, but when he actually has to interact with people, he gets scared and angry. Tiny Cooper really is probably the heart of the book. He is writing a musical based on his own life. It starts out being called Tiny Dancer, the Tiny Cooper story.
Title.
And then it sort of metamorphosizes into something else. And yes, he basically thinks that life is a musical, and he is the main character in that musical.
5, 6, 7, 8.
Come on, David, time to dish the dirt on that John Green. He likes to play the nerd. He seems so squeaky clean. That John Green, stop the brawl and give us what you got. I heard he likes to eat kittens and he carries a Glock. Don't be shy, just vent your spleen. That John Green.
It's good
John Green.
Yes, John Green. No, he is amazing. He really, both as a writer, I mean, we first met because I read the advanced reader copy of Looking for Lasky's first book, and just wrote him this gushing fanboy letter.
Oh,
being
so it was
like,
you who approached him?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
I just, not thinking we'd write together, I just wanted to know him because this book was so awesome. And then he was a fan of Boy Meets Boy, my first book, and so we just sort of hit it off and started just talking to each other. He was living in Chicago, I was living in New York, and then he moved to New York, and we again hit it off more, and I had suggested we write a book together, and that's how this came about. But yeah, no, it's been amazing, and it's been amazing. I sort of say I married into the Nerd Fighter family by writing this book with John.
They've been following around, haven't they, on tour?
Yeah, and they've been incredible. I mean, just really, really incredible people, and that's been amazing to see, because I'm all about creating sort of a community of authors, like in New York. Like, I really do a lot with my fellow authors, but he really has created this community of readers.
All right. Maura did something mean, stupid, cruel, and misguided. Tell me, David, now did you think the reader should forgive? Well, Grayson is not very nice. up too much in his pain, secrets, insults, ignoring the way she adores him, a great big mess. Friendship built on unhappiness, do they both bear the blame and share the shame? Or is this just misleading, a great big mess? If only she would like him less. Now that we're sitting here, it's not crystal clear if Maura is a great big bitch. Thank you, that was amazing.
I know I was supposed to wait until the chorus, but I just couldn't help myself. I just was so inspired that I was
like, working with those bubbles.
Yeah.
Thank you. That was lovely.
Good. I feel that from my Will's perspective that he and Maura aren't really good friends. That his really exciting life is when he is at the computer with his internet boyfriend Isaac, or just chatting with other people. And so when he goes to school, Maura is sort of this person who's there, like that and has been there for a year, and they are sort of outsiders together. It's sort of a marriage of convenience, or a friendship of convenience.
That's a good expression for
but
it.
he just has no desire to confide anything in her, and I think that friendship is so much about confidences and really knowing the other person. And sort of in the beginning, she is sort of chipping away. He knows he's gay. He just doesn't want to talk about it. She knows he's gay, but she wants to force him to talk about it. And I think that in those situations, it's like the worst thing a friend could do is sort of just like to keep picking.
Yeah.
And he, partially being a guy, but partially being as detached as he is at the start of the book, he doesn't know how to deal with that. And so I think many of us, especially guys, but girls as well, when you're in that situation, you choose just not to deal with it. You're like, okay, well, this person is more into me than I am to them, but if I just sort of don't give them anything, then maybe they'll go away, or they'll get the message instead of just having a conversation.
Yeah. With cat-like tread upon the book he came, out of John Green's head, and Tiny was his name. Tiny's very big, he's also very gay. I don't mean that in the old-fashioned way. Tiny Cooper, was it fun to play with him, or did at first it look quite grim? Come, man, and love Tiny. He's so very driven, his gayness is a given. His heart is always full, his intentions, they are never cruel. Come, men, and love Tiny. His John Green's creation in your imagination. On the pages with Tiny, was there always harmony? Yeah, you can
Yes. Say.
Oh, thank you. Thanks, Kevin.
So Tiny Cooper's awesome. I mean, I think, and again, he was born of John and then raised by two dads. Like the minute I heard John read him and sort of describe him as very, 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 very large and very, 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 very gay, I was like, oh, I can go with that.
Work with that. Yeah.
And I think some of the most fun we had with the book was with Tiny, because he is somebody, life, again, is a musical. He's the main character in it. He's writing this musical about his life, and part of the fun was us writing the musical numbers.
Were you ever tempted at all to perform the musical yourself?
And I'm totally cool with reading in front of anybody, but even with Nick and Nora, there's a song in Nick and Nora, and one of the running jokes with Rachel and I was that we would do readings where we'd get to that section and I would have to sing, and it was like suddenly every ounce of stage fright I'd ever had was filling my body. So
I've heard a little rumor that you and Rachel Cohn are working on another book. Is
we
that
do.
true?
We have a third book, Dash and Lee's Book of Dares, which is coming out here for Christmas time.
Awesome.
So yeah, and it'll be out in the States in October. There are no musical numbers in it. It's one of the first books I've written that doesn't actually have musical numbers. But
I'd like to thank you for being such a good sport.
No, thank you for the musical production numbers.
No worries, and it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you. Thanks.
That was amazing.